could have been a disaster if it had gone the other direction and people, after 20 years in the games industry and trying to build a good reputation for myself, like, to have it have gone the other direction and be like, who is this goofball? Why is he in drag? This is retarded. And, what is this game? We hate this. If that had been the outcome, I probably would have just driven my car off a cliff or something, I guess. But it was definitely scary.
Yeah, I guess my next question is, why had nobody done this before? Like, this seems like such a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's what I kept saying in the Kickstarter video. I was like, and when I would talk to people about this, I would explain it, and when it would dawn on people, like, they kind of got the chocolate and peanut butter invention. Chocolate and peanut butter existed separately before, the cup. So it wasn't like somebody invented chocolate and peanut butter individually to go together. Those things existed. And this is exactly the same. This is a chocolate and peanut butter invention. And, sometimes those are the best types of inventions, but it is mind-blowing, right? And then when people would dawn on them, like, oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. And they would kind of ask the same question, this doesn't exist? And I'm like, no. I mean, there have been things that tried to do little bits and pieces of it and bring it together, but not in a real way, where it was so hyper-casual or so hyper, like a Facebook game that tried to bring a little tiny bit of these two things together. But no one had done it in a real and big, robust way, and that's the part that I think has really been shocking to people, is like, yeah, why doesn't this exist? So, but no, I don't know why. It blows my mind too. Hey, thank goodness. And now we get to do it, so I couldn't be happier.
Excellent. All right, we got a good question from Max Hero. One of the best parts of the Duels and Planewalkers games was the built-in co-op campaign. I know you've spoken about it before, but many couples enjoy playing the co-op experience. What kind of support do you feel co-op will see in the first year of PAX?
In the first year, the co-op is really about either being in a guild together and having the chance to have sort of the guild accomplishments. But when it comes to actually playing together, that's more about the raid experience. So having it be you and a friend or you and two friends playing together against a raid boss is really the big focal point for the multiplayer hex component. And some of the raid bosses are built where two people can take them on, so there is a fun, like, two-player-y sort of experience. Some of the bosses are impossible without three people. Some of the bosses you may be able to, if you were good enough, go in and beat by yourself, which will be this fun challenge, like how do you build this crazy deck that can actually beat a raid boss on your own. So there's definitely levels to the raid boss experience, but that is the focus for the multiplayer at this point. In the future, the things we do want to do are like 2v2 tournaments, so you and a buddy against other two people. Figuring out how to make that game experience enjoyable and not too long and drawn out, because if it gets too drawn out, it becomes a negative play experience. That's the last thing we want, so we got to figure that out. But also even two-player or multiplayer dungeon experiences. We're actually doing multiple a series of two-player experiences throughout a dungeon that you're unlocking different things. Is something we want to do in the future. I don't think it'll be in the first year of Hex. I think that's more of a year 2 thing. But we got a laundry list of features that we want to add in the future. Long list. So, but more multiplayer is definitely at the top of it.
All right. Let's see. Havoc Attack wants to know, with the keep defense, will you actually be able to control the defense if you're challenged while you're logged in, or is it 100% AI controlled?
It was AI controlled. The AI is very, very good, though. I'll say that. We have the best AI programmer in the world when it comes to TCGs. Chris Woods, you've seen him on our Twitch with the very nice hair. So the way it works is actually you get to make 3 decks, and they have to come and beat you with 1 deck. So you can imagine if you made 3 decks that were all about making sure that no one deck could beat you, you have a built-in ability to make some pretty challenging stuff. On top of that, there's going to be some upgrades to your keep that will actually give you some benefits. So I'm not going to announce what those are, how you get them yet, but there are different things you'll use to customize your keep that will give the keep defense something extra. And the way it works is you're actually going to put an amount of gold into your keep's treasury, and then you're going to set the price to actually attack your keep. And when they attack your keep, they have to pay that much gold. And what happens to that gold is that part of it goes into the treasury, which increases the reward for beating your keep. Part of it goes to you, and part of it's sort of a tax, basically. And if you have a great set of decks, that reward for attacking your keep, you just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then eventually it becomes this big thing, I think, for the community where it's like, this guy's got a million gold on his keep. How do we beat him? And they're talking about what decks you have. So once you block those decks and champions into your keep, they stay there until someone beats it. So this is a part of the cool feature. Those cards are all still available to you. All gameplay all of the gameplay in Hex allows you to use cards multiple times in different settings. So whether or not it's in your keep or you've got the same card in 10 decks, doesn't matter as long as you have it. And so the AI pilots your deck, and that's sort of how keeps work.
All right, I'm gonna run out of here for about 5 seconds, you guys. But before I do, Mr. Funsocks has a question. Loot rules in Raid. Is it round robin? Roll for it, or does everyone get their own loot? And I will be right back while you answer that, Cory.
So that's we're still working on what's going to be the sort of best. What is the best experience? So as we play through the Raid experiences now, and we're having those conversations. It's still up in the air. Like we're leaning towards everyone basically gets a chance to roll on the table. So if afterward, you'll see what people have, what they got, and if you want to trade or whatever afterward, then yeah, of course, like you can trade just about anything in the game with each other. That's sort of hands off. But what we're leaning towards is that everyone gets their own role on the loot table, and for those people with the bonus from the Kickstarter, the 100% loot bonus, they'll actually get 2 rolls on the table. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully that answers the question. It's still up in the air a little bit. We're still figuring out what's the best experience. There's something to be said for we worked together, we got this bulk of treasure, now we're going to figure out how to divvy it up. That makes for nice community interactions sometimes, unless you're getting ninja looted, but we're figuring it out. So I'll continue to talk because I don't want to leave dead space here.
No dead space, no.
What's that?
It's not dead space.
Okay. The Kickstarter is in its last 48 hours. As I mentioned before, this will be the last time to get stuff at this level. Like this is the one chance. It will not be like this in the future. So if you get a chance, go check it out for sure.
Question, Cory. Was this a dream of yours to make a game like this?
100%. That's where this started, was that this was the game that I wanted to play badly. And so, the idea that I would, that Cryptozoic would have the chance to make a game like this is blowing my mind. I mean, and without the Kickstarter stuff, there was a real issue. So it was real when I said that we needed the community to rally around this game to actually make it happen. That was for real. So yes, this is my dream. The great thing about this, I think, is going to be after the game launches and we're a year or two down the road and we've continued to add features and really cool stuff, and it's getting bigger and bigger, hopefully. And every time that we're able to do some fun event, and every time that we have our holidays trigger, or we have a community outreach, or we're at a convention putting on a big live esports tournament, every time we're able to do something like that is sort of a direct result of this game's success, will be just amazing validation that there were a group of people that wanted this game, and I think it's also just going to be so much fun. I mean, I've told the story before about how working at Blizzard, I got to be in Korea for the announcement of StarCraft 2, and just the reaction of people was so mind-blowing. Just the gasps in the audience when they would talk about any little feature. I mean, the power that game had just blew my mind, and people are still passionate about it. And that's like, we are all so passionate about Hex. I really want to grow this into something that has that level of impact in people's lives.
Nice. Yeah, I recently just went to EVE Online's Fan Fest, the CCP Fan Fest, and like it was the same sort of thing. Yeah, like the way the meta games affects both of those games, particularly for EVE Online, is like really intriguing. Yeah. Like the way people like work outside. So you're hoping you're really hoping that Hex will get to that sort of level where everyone's like hanging out and strategizing like outside of the game in chat rooms and kind of forming alliances and things like that. Playing with
you're already seeing some of that with our Kickstarter community. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, that's a big part of TCGs, is this sort of meta component, which is the community-driven aspect about deck building and tournaments, and so I mean that's a heavy-duty part of trading card games in general. I think CCP does a great job. I think EVE is amazing, and the idea of that sort of hyper-engaged audience that maybe it isn't 10 million people. But it's, a few 100,000 people that are very, very passionate and very, very engaged and really care. Like in some ways, I think that's better than having 10 million people that are just like, I play this, I like it, but it doesn't really like have a lot of emotional importance to me. And so that's sort of the goal for Hex.
Nice. Jimbo Duff wants to know, will the game have player-to-player trades, or is everything done through the auction house?
No, it has player-to-player trades, absolutely.
Nice. Excellent. Let's see. Dylan Mono wants to know, when is the alpha for backers likely to start?
Well, this is, again, I don't have a great answer. Like, we want in September to be the beta, where that's what we've been working towards. My goal is that the alpha is essentially, between 2 and 3 weeks of early access for all the Kickstarter people. And I believe that that'll be awesome for them, because I think for, if it's 2 or 3 weeks of solid talking about how awesome a time you're having playing this game and no one else gets to play, I think people are going to go crazy. So I think that will be cool, but it really is dependent on when that beta is going to hit. I'm not going to put people into an alpha that isn't polished enough to allow you to feel like the investment you made in this